All right, this is going to be the last video for Note 32, and it's to finish out this very last problem dealing with circles. So I have given you that the area of a circle is 64 pi. I'll deal with the units, but it's inches squared. And I would like to know the radius. So R equals. I'd like to know the diameter, so D equals, and C for circumference. Okay. Area formula. Area of a circle is found by doing area equals pi r squared, or r squared pi. Won't matter. And so if I fill that in, right, r squared pi r squared, equals 64 pi, I can go ahead and solve this. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by pi. So those all cancel out, and I'm left with r squared equals 64. And I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Okay, so r is equal to, now, if you were in the last videos for solving quadratic formulas, when we took a square root, one of the big things I stressed was that you needed to include a plus or a minus. However, in this particular problem, what you're solving for is the radius of a circle. And I don't know about you, but there is no way I know how to measure a circle with a radius of negative anything. So if in this situation where R represents a real world situation that cannot have negative solutions, we are simply going to take the square root of 64, which is 8. And you are going to tell me that the radius is 8 units or inches here. All right. So radius is 8 inches. Now, how do you get from a radius to a diameter? Well, the diameter is 2 times the radius. So if you know that your radius is 8, your diameter, double it up, is 16 inches. Okay. And then circumference has one of two formulas. I'm going to write them both down. So circumference is equal to either 2 pi r, or circumference is equal to d pi, or pi d. Now, since we know both radius and diameter, it is not going to matter which one of these we pick. I'll go ahead and use the one at the bottom, which is circumference equals d pi. And that's going to get me circumference. Well, the diameter is, right as 16 pi. And there's nothing else to do there. I'm not asking you to multiply it out with 3.14 or any equivalency for pi. Simply tell me the circumference is 16 pi. Circumference is just the unit of measure, so inches. So radius is in inches, diameter is in inches, and circumference is also in inches. Area is the one that we're talking about covering the shape, so that has to be in square inches. All right, this is where I'm going to go ahead and cut this video. As always, if you have questions or concerns, please do let me know.